Crimea is what? A sandwich with sausage to be returned here and there. This phrase of the Russian opposition leader Aleksei Navalny is well remembered in Ukraine. This was said in an interview with the Echo Moskvy radio station in October 2014. The politician agreed that Russia illegally annexed Crimea but advised Ukrainians not to hope for its return.
Crimea belongs to people who live there. Crimea will remain part of Russia and will never again become part of Ukraine in the foreseeable future. Aleksei Navalny, Russian oppositionist, in an interview with the radio station Echo of Moscow in October 2014.
Later, Aleksei Navalny said that the Crimean issue could not be resolved quickly.
At the moment, there are 3 million Russian citizens there. They have passports, and just like that, just snap your finger and say, give it back. The first and only thing you can start doing is to hold an honest referendum with a long period of preparation, where both Ukraine and the Crimean Tatars, that is, the interested parties, will be able to campaign for a long time. Then we hold a referendum. Based on the results of this referendum, a decision can be made. Aleksei Navalny, Russian oppositionist, in an interview with the Russian service of Radio Liberty.
And since 2017, the Russian oppositionist began to declare that he does not see a solution to the Crimean problem, since not a single territorial conflict has been resolved lately. But on February 20th of this year, Aleksei Navalny published a 15-point political program emphasizing that Crimea belongs to Ukraine within the 1991 borders.
What are the borders of Ukraine? The same as in Russia. Internationally recognized, defined in 1991. We, Russia, also recognize them. Russia must recognize these borders even now. There is nothing to discuss. Almost all borders in the world are random and cause someone's discontent. But it is impossible to fight for their change in the 21st century. Otherwise, the world will plunge into chaos. Aleksei Navalny, Russian oppositionist, in his political program.
With his program, Aleksei Navalny, who is Vladimir Putin's only public competitor, signaled that he had begun preparations for elections. So says the former Minister of Foreign Affairs of Ukraine, Pavlo Klimkin. According to him, part of the Russian elites who predict the approaching defeat of Putin want to work with Navalny.
He senses an opportunity now because he sees that there is a new stage and dynamic in war and international relations. Let's not start analyzing in detail what he says. He will now tell everyone what they want to hear, and the West including. Let's see what he will do next. But he wants to make himself a real candidate for the presidential election. Pavlo Klimkin, Minister of Foreign Affairs of Ukraine, 2014-2019, in an interview with Channel 24.
Aleksei Navalny's colleague, Russian public and political figure Ivan Zhdanov, claims that there are no radical changes in the politician's statements.
There is no change in his views. Crimea is Ukraine, and he initially said so. So he declared that Crimea should be returned to its native country, to which it belongs under international law. Now, he is just thesis point-wise, so that no one has doubts and space for interpretation, because often his words are distorted.
If Russia wants to become a civilized state, then the return of Crimea to Ukraine is inevitable, Ivan Zhdanov believes. In his opinion, this can be done by the armed forces of Ukraine by military means or by an internal coup in the Russian Federation. Reported by Serhiy Kulas, Victoria Sinko, UATV News.